Hello, my name is Mariana, and today this is a reading for Capricorn. So Capricorn, I'm doing your reading as always with my own deck, so the cards that you'll see are from this deck. And Capricorn, I know that you might not have seen the message that I posted yesterday for Sagittarius, which, I felt like it was a very intense message, but I feel like your reading today, Capricorn, is a direct continuation of that reading, specifically because the first part, although, the first part was appearing as a very individual and personal experience, the extended for Sagittarius was very clearly a collective reading. And so it's no wonder that here for you, it's like the message continues on. And I feel like you, Capricorn, are part of this healing group or this first aid group, because there are two very crucial cards that showed up in the Sagittarius extended that are figuring here for you. And the interesting thing is that I don't know what is going on around where I live, but it seems like yesterday this alarm was going on, this police car was passing by, and it was pretty loud, and I don't know if you can hear it, but it's still going on. So, it feels like this common thread, I want to say, between the Sagittarius reading and your reading today, Capricorn. So let's begin with your response, right? We begin with the Eight of Wands, and this card was clearly talking about quick action, right? There is something that you're not thinking twice, that you are simply entering. It's almost like if you are, somebody that works in the front line of a hospital, or as, an ambulance nurse, or, some kind of help or assistance giver, or any type of, just if you, maybe you are a volunteer, right? Maybe we're talking about you volunteer in some kind of first aid, or it doesn't necessarily have to be that, okay? Because actually the way that I'm seeing, but that would be like just the common thread from the Sagittarius reading, okay? That felt like fighting a common battle or fighting a common disruption. But with the Eight of Wands, especially because the way that you're coming through as actually the Queen of Wands later on, right under the Eight of Wands, it's like there is something that you recognize that is being directly affected, right? I'm going to include this second card already because it will help me to explain what I'm seeing in the Eight of Wands. So the Seven of Swords is the card that is coming next, and it's the card that was right at the end of the Sagittarius extended, Capricorn. So maybe if you haven't watched that reading, maybe it will make more sense to you. So this card here in this reading for you, Capricorn, is talking about, again, just like I saw for Sagittarius, like a circle of people holding hands and working together, which is actually the card that is coming right at the end of your first part, which was exactly the card that was at the bottom of the deck for Sagittarius, the Eight of Pentacles, which came with this message of working together, coming together to work, fighting or healing something, right? It's like for a common good, for a common goal. And so with the Eight of Wands, not only is this immediate response, right? This quick action that is required, because maybe you are part of a volunteer group and they are requiring your presence, or they are asking that you join the group, right? But it doesn't have to be necessarily like a major disruption or an accident or something like that, right? It could just be part of a group that you attend to, or that you volunteer at, or that you know, maybe we're talking about colleagues at work, or you know, a group of people that you are close to, I want to say, right, that maybe you do work together, and not necessarily like professional work, maybe it's like spiritual work or something like that, especially being the Seven of Swords, right? The swords energy usually comes with this very high frequency, this spiritual frequency, but it has to do with something that ignites your soul, especially because the way that you are coming here, Capricorn, as this Queen of Wands, I feel like you are being summoned by this group, right, to join in, because there is something about the object that you are, you know, fighting. And it's not fighting against something, it's because okay, so the way that I'm seeing the Eight of Wands is like a forest, right? Usually I see the symbol of wands, although yes, is associated with fire, I see it as a tree. And it's interesting also because in the Sagittarius extended, the extended was started with the Ace of Wands, that was talking about lighting a match, you know, and you know, starting a fire in a, you know, because of like this small piece of disruption or a careless act, right? You know, towards one tree. It's like one tree on fire sets the entire forest on fire. Okay, that's what I want to connect between the two readings, especially because this is your initial cards, right? This is the opening card for your reading. So it feels like the damage was already done, or you know, the fire is already like scaled to the point that now is something that is incredibly alarming. You have to act quickly. There is no time to wait. There is no time to second guess it. It's like this is what you are being asked to join in, to, you know, fight this fire and put down the fire, maybe in a forest. And the reason why you are being asked specifically, Capricorn, to join this group is because there is expertise in your part. Maybe you know that forest very well, and this is, you know, maybe literally we're talking about, or maybe it's just a metaphor, especially because the way that it was coming through as a metaphor is something that you are passionate about. So maybe something that you are passionate about is, you know, it's going through immense disruption, and there needs to be this quick response to exterminate the damage or the danger or the hazard, right? And this is why these ones, maybe we're not even talking about actual people, maybe we're talking about your guides, maybe we're talking about your spiritual team that is giving you the alert and demanding you to act, right? Because it's something that you are extremely connected to, that you are passionate about that thing, about that forest, about that work, about that place, about that environment, whatever it is, right? But I have to say that, to be honest, I feel like there are others with you, right? It's not just your spiritual team. It feels like there are others that are part of this circle, right? So the Seven of Swords, you here as the Queen of Wands, and then the Queen of Swords. And it's interesting because fire and air are incredibly favorable to each other, right? It's like they feed each other simultaneously and reciprocally, in a way that, reciprocally, is that the right word? Anyways, so it's like you are mutually beneficial to each other, right? So maybe it's like you are being asked to join this group because there is this leader, maybe, that you know, right, that had already summoned others, and now that they are asking you to join so that you can give your expertise, you can share what you know about this passion of yours. It's almost like you know how to extinguish the fire because you know that force very well, right? Literally or metaphorically, okay? So there is this connection. Maybe you are sisters, maybe you are colleagues, maybe you are lifetime friends, maybe you are whatever is the nature of this relationship is one that is very reciprocal and very mutually beneficial, right? So they seem to be the leaders, you know, if this is working, you know, double duty as your spiritual team, but also your, you know, maybe this group of volunteers, right? Maybe this is the person who is in charge of the team of volunteers, right, that you are part of. And so I feel like the mission here, to be honest, is coming with this Seven of Cups. And so it is okay, so it is directed to put out the fire in the forest, right? This is the reason why you specifically are being summoned. But there is like something about the connection of like the Seven of Swords, which is like this circle of very high frequency energy, right? It's like people who vibrate very high in a way that they help not only with actions but also with love, right? So it's like it's almost like the circle of people is, it feels like a huge hug, maybe to the forest, maybe to something that is in the center. This is what, you know, came through very powerfully for Sagittarius. It's like the circle of people, it's like it was necessary because it was like supposed to seal a kind of healing technique, or maybe like some kind of assistance to a certain person in the center, or maybe to a certain environment or a specific spot, or whatever it is that is in the center. And the interesting thing is that, oh, this is should be here. So after the Seven of Cups, we have the Ace of Swords, and it's you know, it's like after this healing works occurs, or maybe like the assistance is given, right? It's like it's more than just bringing knowledge and expertise, because this is what both of you, these two queens, are bringing into the picture, right? You maybe with the passion for the place or the passion for the projects, like you want to try to salvage anything that you can because you just love it so much, right? And what they are bringing, it's more like a rational mindset of, you know, let's do what we know is going to be effective, but it's like it's also very, it's like it's a good blend of both of your energies, right? And so you are joining forces in a way that you expend the help that you're giving to this something that is in the center, because after the work is done, after this the assistance is given, it's like there is a lot of well, it's coming through as transmutation of the energy, right? And it's interesting because in the Sagittarius first part, there was this tenderness, right, after the disruption, right, in terms of the personal event or the personal individual disruption, to the point that the person affected by that event felt tender afterwards. And so it's almost like the transmutation of the pain, of the consequences of the damage, of the bruises or anything like that. It's not going to be necessarily like this like the vulnerability, right? It's more like it's like support. It's like a collective support that you are being part of. It's like you're part of this team of volunteers or team of workers that are on the front line of giving help by joining forces, not only intellectually or philosophically or spiritually, or, you know, just your energies, but also the intention of love, the intention of being supportive, of being there, right? So this is what is freeing up whatever it was that was in the center of this group. It's like the focus of all of your attentions was in this thing, and after you apply whatever it is that you came to apply there, right? To give your help, to provide your assistance. You are liberating, you know, the patient or the place or whatever it is that you are all focused onto. It's like this Ace of Swords is free to go, is free to walk with their own legs, in a sense. It's how it's coming through more literally. But also, to me, the Ace of Swords talks a lot about truth, about this incredible truth, and when it's almost like freeing truth. It's like the work that you're, maybe we're not talking about a certain person that needed assistance. Maybe we are talking about like this more energetic healing, this more spiritual work that is freeing truth, right? It's like all of you united, you being one of them, Capricorn. It's like you, with the expertise that you have, with the passion that you have for this place, it's like you are crucial there so that this can happen. This freedom of truth can happen in a way that feels very, it's like there is this transmutation from pain to love, right? And that is what, it's almost like that is exactly what is needed to free truth. And that, okay, so after this liberation occurs, right? Maybe we're talking about this one epiphany that the entire group, you know, to which you belong, Capricorn, it's like you, not only you help to free truth, right? But it's like having one epiphany, or maybe like a one shared experience that is giving the same idea to the entire group, which I want to say leads to the Eight of Pentacles, which is like, it's almost like, now let's maybe turn this into something that we do as work, perhaps, right? But it's like, let's work together from now on. It's like you, and you know, we initiated with the 8 and then we end with the 8, going from the 8 of Wands to the 8 of Pentacles. So I am, you know, inclined to say that perhaps your specific passion, maybe you have something that you are so passionate about that because something is occurring to that significant thing for you, and it's, you know, inviting others to come and help to save the day, or to save your project, or to save something that is really significant for you, Capricorn. It's like you are realizing, not only you, Capricorn, but I want to say it's like the entire group thinking as one, because this freedom has been liberated, this truth has been liberated, right? It's like now you're all having the same idea, and the same idea is we work well together. It's like we are a group, we are a team, we are, you know, volunteers that have this incredible groove. It's like when we hold our hands together, things are freed. It's like we can focus our attention to the center and it liberates something, right? So it's almost like this common newfound idea, I want to say, or insight or epiphany that is in the level of the individual, but also in the level of the group, is to work together, is to collaborate, is to continue on with this passion project of yours, but in a way that is more tangible, is more concrete, right? Maybe it's like it's going places, right? Is being more solidified, you know, the path that is taken on. It's like, okay, so now that we liberated this one, it's like now there's work to be done to free other truths, or to help other people, or to give assistance, you know, in other places. So that is really, really interesting, Capricorn. So it is similar to the Sagittarius reading, but I feel like it has, you know, a difference to it that is really significant, because it's all about something that you're passionate about. So maybe that will help you to identify exactly what it is. But I'm going to pull more cards for you, Capricorn. And also I'm going to pull from the astrological runes in the extended reading. So if you want to join me there, I'll be happy to see you. If not, I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.